Check. I sound good? You guys sound all right?
Yeah.
Volume-wise?
I sound beautiful.
It feels good to hear that.
Yeah, it
Just
does.
all of that.
All three of us together, man.
Yeah, dude.
Bringing it back.
Bringing it back. All right. Recording. It's the first time we're doing this, so I'm like,
Yeah.
are we...
Waiting to see what we did wrong.
Is it real?
Yeah. Basically, like, all right, so... This, yeah.
Is it real? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, that's how it feels. Like, is this real?
Yeah. It doesn't feel... It feels like we missed a step somewhere.
Yeah.
Or something. Welcome to There's Too Many Movies. Something.
There is? Or there are? Hey, man.
Hey.
The first time you say the podcast?
Welcome
Hey,
to
man.
IFCs.
Hey, man. The first time you said the podcast
On the podcast.
that we just spent the entire day setting up.
Oh, fuck.
Did you say there is or there are?
Every fucking week, new movies get released. How does anyone ever see these? There are too many movies.
There are too many movies. Welcome to that.
Thank you.
Thank you, and welcome to that. So there are too many movies episode. This isn't even
Wait. So it is there are too many movies.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just checking.
Yeah.
All right.
You can check the logo on our
Thank you, Josh.
Instagram.
All right, cool.
I don't think we have enough fucking air noises. My fucking laptop is. Listen to this. Hold on.
I already hear it.
I hear it.
Yeah.
I can't even take.
I hear it.
Oh, I'm tethered to this mic stand. I forgot.
Yeah.
That's not going to work at all. Okay.
That's
my
a
fucking jet engine.
Yeah.
My
Yeah, it's
laptop
powerful.
taking off.
Powerful.
It's fine. All right. And then my AC sounds like a goddamn airplane hangar.
Hey, you know,
Hey, you want some?
ambiance.
Yeah. Hey, you want some air? Just immediate. And that's the sound of everyone tuning out. Okay, so
All right, bye.
All right.
Thank you for tuning in.
Yeah, thanks for giving us a shot.
Right.
Okay, so I guess we'll just start it off by reviewing. You said the last episode, but you just
No,
want to talk about the whole thing.
Let's do the whole
Yeah.
season. Let's do
Yeah.
the whole season of True Detective Season 3.
All right.
Starring Mahershala Ali, Stephen Dorff, directed by, I forgot, Nick Palazzo. What's his name?
Well, he wrote it and created it.
Pizzolatto,
I don't know if
I
he
think.
directed.
Pizzolatto.
Yeah.
All I know is Jeremy Saulnier did the first 2 episodes,
Who's that?
who I'm a huge fan of.
Director?
Director Jeremy Saulnier. He did Green Room. He did
Oh,
Blue
yeah,
Ruin.
Yeah, you told me that.
And he also did that Netflix film with the wolves. What's it called?
Never heard of it.
Hold the Dark?
Hold the Dark.
Yeah.
Hold the Dark. That's it. Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Fuck
that,
yeah.
that was sick.
It was good.
Yeah, that
I
movie
really love
goes
that
hard as
director.
Fuck.
But, tidbit, he was fired after the first 2 episodes.
Of
True Detective Season
Why?
3.
You know why?
Creative differences.
Okay.
With Nick Pizza.
Oh, yeah.
Pizzalo. What's his
Pizza
name?
Lotta. Lot of-
Pizzolatto, I think.
Nick, lot of
I'm probably
pizza.
wrong. I'm correcting you, but I'm probably wrong.
It's like Nick, a lot of pizza or something.
Right.
Nick Piazza.
Yeah. Mike Piazza.
Remember steroids?
I do.
so anyways.
Yeah, I do.
Nick, he directed the rest of them?
think he
There were different
directed,
directors, but
yeah.
Jeremy Saulnier was actually supposed to be the showrunner for the whole season.
Mm-hmm.
And Nick sort of came on the last, after the 3rd episode because of creative differences.
Okay.
Which I think, I don't know, dude. Outside looking in, I do feel like the first few episodes, the first maybe 3 or 4 episodes, are stronger than the latter half of season 3.
Okay.
But
It's hard for me to remember the
Yeah.
differences.
I mean, it's
between-
fresh in my mind, but I think I agree with you.
right,
It's probably
it
easier.
starts strong.
Yeah.
Well, did you guys watch it? You watched it weekly.
Yes,
I watched it weekly. You binged it.
Yeah.
So it's probably easier to notice differences like that when you're binging.
Yeah, in the second half, there's a few things are more prominent, like the problems in their relationship. But that could have also just have happened regardless of the director. That could have just been what was written in that place.
True.
But I don't know whether it was written on like a week. I mean, there's no way it was written on a week-to-week basis.
No.
Yeah.
It's like fucking South Park. It's
Exactly.
6 days to
Yeah.
air. They're like, ah!
Solve a murder, like an
Yeah.
intricate murder in a week.
Which, Do you want to start from the beginning of the series, or are we speaking in broad strokes because this is our first episode? We're trying to figure out.
I don't really want to do it like, episode 1 was this, 2 was this, because I don't remember it. I remember it
same.
as a whole.
I think
Okay,
the most
cool. So
it's
organic
like-
way to just talk about what comes to mind.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I think that, like I said, first few episodes start really strong, and it gives you this idea of something like really intricate, and there are a lot of wheels turning that sort of put this crime into perspective for everybody around it. You know what I mean? It's like setting up something really huge, and the way that they end it, kind of not to say I understand what they were doing. It's like, yeah, you sort of built that up in your head, but it doesn't necessarily deliver everything that it needed to. You know what I mean? With the caretaker at the very end, just sort of going off and like giving every detail that we've wanted to know for the past 3 or 4 episodes, as opposed to sort of like I don't know, man, like leaving a sort of bread trail or
Exactly.
breadcrumbs along
he
the
was
way.
kind of just throwing like a whole bowl of bread in your face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was all your answers.
There was
Here's a roll.
there was
It's
one
a whole baguette. Bam!
one moment in either the second to last episode or the finale. I can't remember, but like 2015, old Mahershala Ali is sitting there. He's trying to piece shit together with the murder and all that shit, and he drops his wife's book and he picks it up, and it's exactly on the page where he finds a crucial piece of information. And that was the
Yeah.
only instance in the entire show that I was like, that's lazy writing.
That because it's such a trope.
Yeah.
To
Yeah,
like knock
exactly.
something off of a shelf
When
and be
it-
like, oh, like it turned to the page, or like
When it
like a
ha-
wind, wind
Exactly,
like
yeah,
blows
like
it open, and
Page
then like
Master
like that is such a trope of like, yeah, it's lazy.
Yeah. When
I
he
agree with
dropped
that.
the
Where it's
book-
like, how is he going to find that? Well, how about he never read his wife's book of
Yeah.
this case forever that he's been trying to solve, like
If
out
he's
of spite or something.
If he's so obsessed with the case, why the fuck has it taken so long for him to read the book?
well, okay.
I mean, that's all part of the characterization and all that.
Yes. See, that's the thing. Is like you could say like, oh, it doesn't make sense, but you can also say, that's a personal character trait or characterization, like part of their subplot, because a lot of the whole show was their struggle, like their
Exactly.
marital struggles and like their resentment towards each other and marriage and like splitting up,
Career,
and, yeah,
and all
all
that
that
shit.
shit. Why are you making light of what I'm, struggling
life,
with? Yeah,
yeah.
like you're profiting off of this life, and so.
but I challenge you to consider why.
Challenge you.
What?
I challenge you. to
I
consider.
challenge you. No, I challenge you to consider how impactful would it have been with him having this memory issue throughout the show. How impactful would it have been if he had read the book at one point?
Well, then the
and
show
he
wouldn't have
remembers
happened.
it as
Oh, like later on.
yeah, like later on in his life, as he's having these issues, and he's not writing shit down. He's just now starting to realize.
And he's just like always rediscovering the same epiphanies.
Yes.
It's just like a loop.
yeah,
It's like a memento loop.
I don't know.
That would be crazy.
I feel like something like that. It's an opportunity that
Yeah.
was missed.
Okay, speaking of missed opportunities, and this isn't necessarily like when I was watching, I thought something was going to happen, and it didn't. And okay, it was the last episode, and it was like this alternate ending now in my head where it was like, oh my god, they had a huge opportunity to
Okay.
just fucking
Huh.
just major. I'll come back to it because we get to the end, but
Okay.
don't let me forget to
Okay,
tell you
yeah.
about the
Okay.
alternate ending I thought they were gonna like hit me
Okay.
with. All right.
To talk about things that you appreciated about the show. I'm not saying that I didn't like it. I really enjoyed the third season.
Yeah.
It may not sound that way just based on how the ending was, but the season itself is really entertaining. It's really good. The
Yeah.
fucking acting was amazing.
Dude,
Some of the
he's
best
so
acting
good.
I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Stephen Dorff was amazing.
Steven Dorff was amazing, but I think Mahershala really
He killed it.
elevates the show.
Needed subtitles, but he's sick as fuck.
Well, I mean, I
But I
don't
needed
watch
subtitles.
True Detective without subtitles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I watch everything with
It's just
subtitles, to be
cops
honest.
brooding in a car. You know what I mean?
So,
It's-
yeah. We better get back there, And it's just like, what?
Yeah.
There was times when I had subtitles and couldn't believe
that they got that.
that he said that. Like,
Yeah.
I was like, that's what he said. But like, I heard like, and it was like, do you want to go back to the murderer's house?
Go back
I
to
was
the
like-
scene of the crime upon the
and he-
PM.
yeah, and he was like, and it's like, what? You
Yeah.
know, but the subtitles helped. So,
It's a necessary for.
but still the acting. And there goes my AC. Right? Look at that. No more ambiance.
Right.
Whatever. Maybe I'll noise filter this somehow. This is why we do test runs. Yeah. I'll run a mic over to like Stanley while he's sleeping. He's perked up. He's like, "What?"
Hello.
Just Stanley mic just like propped right there, and just, he's like, that's all we'd hear. But okay, so back to the acting. You were saying like the
Acting,
acting's phenomenal.
So, and this is not just my opinion. I think this is sort of universal that Mahershala's performance elevates the rest of the show.
Yeah.
I don't know that another actor in that place. I don't know that the show is that like riveting. I guess is
Dude,
the best word to say.
He's so good.
He's so fucking great to watch.
Yeah, and the first time I saw him was on House of Cards. Is Remy?
Oh, I forgot he was
as
on
Remy.
that.
Yeah, he was sick in that show.
I only watched, I think, the first 2 seasons.
Yeah.
But he has that quality about him that like you can't take your eyes off of him when
Yeah.
he's on screen.
Yeah.
Same with
So,
Moonlight.
like, electric.
Yeah, Moonlight, Green Book. I mean, he's just he's electric, dude. You
Yeah.
just love watching that guy. Steven Dorff, though.
He was amazing.
I don't know that I've seen him in anything else besides fucking Blade.
I don't think I did, yeah. Yeah, Blade. That's it.
Blade.
Yeah.
I've never seen him.
You never seen Blade?
Well, I've seen Blade, but it's not like I remembered. That was the other partner, right? The name of the other partner, Steven Dorff.
Yeah.
That is the actor's name.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I don't know. I
Never
I've-
seen him?
I've seen Blade, but it's not like I would recall
He's like
Right,
this.
yeah.
his character in Blade.
Yeah. Unnamed white vampire.
What's his name? Silas something?
There's
even
Wesley
know.
Snipes, and
Yeah.
Another. He's good though. He's a great villain.
Wesley Snipes.
No,
Oh, you're okay. That's what you're
he's
saying.
good in Blade.
He's the villain in Blade.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think
remember
his
that.
performance in Blade elevates that movie because that's a silly fucking movie.
You're
you
probably
know?
right.
He is fucking really good in that. But he's known sort of outside, outside of like his performances and stuff as a douchebag. You know what I mean? Like he's not
okay.
a friendly guy. People don't get along with him. Studios don't get along with him. So
That's probably why Nick likes him.
I mean, probably why he hasn't really done much since. You know?
Yeah, you got to be a team player. You got to play ball. as
I
they
just
say.
read though he got signed to be the star of some new FX show.
Fuck
that's
yeah.
premiering.
I'd
probably
watch
because of this.
I'd watch that.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
And another thing about the show that positive, hair and makeup.
dude, phenomenal. This is unbelievable.
Unbelievable.
Every stage when you were watching, you could tell what stage you were
Exactly.
in.
Yep.
So while there were timelines, 3 separate timelines,
Yeah.
right?
3.
Past, say past, present, future. That's not true.
Right.
It's like past
80, 90, and then
Yeah, let's
old.
just say 80, 90, and then present, I
Yeah.
guess. So 80s, 90s, present. And each time right when it opened on a frame of them, you didn't have to spend much time thinking
Deciphering the
which
frame.
timeline you were
Yeah.
in, which
No.
is phenomenal.
And they like to play with that too.
Yeah.
Like which characters
you
and what,
guessing.
you know.
yeah.
But it was really easy to pick that up.
Yeah.
And it wasn't like something super jarring like Traffic where it's like, let's just make this location green or fucking, you know what I mean? Or even Breaking Bad is a more current example where they do that, where it's
Totally.
like every
Everything's
scene that's in
yellow.
Mexico, it's like yellow.
Oh,
You know what
okay.
I mean?
Like
it's
the
not
color
super,
correction and
yeah,
stuff? Yeah.
Not super
Oh,
jarring.
I
like
see what
that.
you're saying.
I don't
so
like
like
that.
when it went into the past, it wasn't like film
Like
grain.
sepia toned or anything.
Yes.
Exactly,
Yeah, sepia.
exactly what I'm saying. It
Yeah,
was
that's
hair and makeup. That's what really did it.
Yep.
It really, really did. I mean, they did an incredible job with that, and that's what Mahershala will look like when he's like 80 years old.
Right.
Yeah.
1,000%.
If he doesn't look
Dude.
like that, I'll kill myself.
They're gonna do a side by side and
Yeah,
like
we're gonna
hey,
see that
remember when you were
meme in
True
fucking
Detective?
60 years or
Yeah.
whatever.
It's like when he looks better as an actual old person than he did as a fake. I don't know.
Right.
Yeah.
Plus his like his grunts and just his mannerisms and
Yep.
movements.
Dude,
Yes.
like struggling
And,
to
like,
stand up and sit down and stuff.
all that.
Yeah.
Or just like bracing himself as he's sitting down.
Exactly.
Like shit like that was
Yeah.
just so well done.
Yeah.
Like
His
So
performance
good.
really fucking just
So we walked and
out of the
everything.
water. The wife though, I forget her name.
Carmen Jogo, I think.
So, fuck yeah, that's awesome that you remember that.
You have the most random bank of knowledge in your head
Yeah,
where it's
yeah.
like you don't know what you had for lunch yesterday, but you
No.
remember shit in like 6th grade.
Y equals mx plus b. That's I don't know.
He goes, I don't know.
Yeah.
I didn't care for the, I guess, ghost like spirit of her
Right.
in
Being his
Yeah.
inspiration.
Yeah, I didn't
Yeah.
care for those scenes because it was very much not like how she
Their
was in real
relationship
life.
was. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It felt a little forced. Like I'm the ghost of I'm haunting you in a way.
Well,
But
that's the thing is, it was in his head technically, so it would be
Right.
his interpretation of how
Exactly.
she would be or was, or wishes,
Even- yeah.
maybe. Like it wasn't it. It doesn't have to be accurate because it was in his own head,
Exactly.
I guess.
I hear
But I
that.
get what you're saying, where it was out of character
very much so.
for her to be.
Just so cold and just
Yeah.
like
She had cold
But
moments.
it
though.
came in line with the idea that near like in the finale when she talked about how the reason he went to Vietnam is because like he didn't see value in his own life and that if he got killed his mom would get money. Mm-hmm. The fact that he didn't see value in his life, but she ended up becoming the value of his life, and then she died. So now he doesn't have anything. So he goes back to thinking about the crime and all that shit. But his primary motivation is still the memory of his wife, I guess.
Yeah, I can see that. Dude, speaking of the ghost though, the some of my favorite moments in the show was when the past or the future, like he would be on one of his
Oh,
amnesia
totally.
ticks and he'd walk over by his fence and look into his backyard
And see him burning
and
his
then it would
clothes.
cut to the past and he would feel like someone's looking at him.
I love
Yeah.
that.
Fuck, that was sick.
That was
Yeah.
awesome.
The
That
fact,
was
the way
real-
he plays with time and like the way
Yeah.
he plays with like explaining certain, it kind of comes back to season 1 with like the time is a
Time
flat
is a flat-
circle and
yeah.
alternate dimensions and string theory and all that shit, where I was just like, God,
It's fucking
those
awesome.
those goosebump moments where it's just
Exactly.
like, it makes you think about certain things like that, where it's like, when you feel like someone's watching you, or when you feel like, it's like,
Yeah.
listen, I've done DMT. Let me tell you.
I mean, it
Rogan,
obviously it does have that connection to the first season, like you're talking about.
Yeah.
I thought that the actual mention of the first season was a little shoehorned in there.
I feel.
There,
I would love your opinion.
okay.
Let's go.
So, I'm on the fence because I see both sides of it.
Okay.
While I saw that and loved the fact that they were in the same universe, I wish it was more subtle
Totally.
because
Yep.
some of it was like a nod, like remember this?
Dude, like the newspaper cover with both of them.
Yeah.
In obvious stills from the first season.
Yes,
Right.
yeah, it's like promotional stills.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like, dude.
yeah. I wish they could. I wish it
Drop
was
a name.
It's just that.
or just like why couldn't she have just said there was
Don't
there's
even
some
show
people
it.
in Louisiana that did
Yep.
it and whatever, and then
And people
that was
would have
it.
been like, "Oh, do you think that's a?"
Yeah, exactly.
That would have created
been
more hype.
than like, why don't you just look at the camera and just go, remember season 1?
yeah.
Like
Pretty
at that
much,
point,
yeah.
But I like that he put it in the same universe.
No,
I mean,
it-
obviously it is. It's like there's not many universes. It's not like it's a comic book movie or comic
Right.
book universes. But you know what I mean. Where I like that there was a shout out showing it was in the
Totally.
same universe. But
I don't hate that they did it, that they connected them. I just thought it could have been a little more tasteful and
Yeah.
a little less
Exactly.
100%.
in your face.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't know, man. The trope of finding things out like on the television from the news, finding things out on like just those info bombs, either like a character's walking by the TV and like the thing that they happen to be involved
A
in comes
virus
on.
has broken out in Tanzania.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
The thing that they happen to be talking about or involved in comes on the news. You know what I mean? Like just that trope is just so overdone, dude. And when they
Yeah.
do shit like that with that newspapers, I don't know, it just feels a little it's lazy, you know?
Yeah, I feel you.
Definitely.
So I wanted to talk more about season. Let's talk about True Detective as a whole, a journey it's taken.
Okay.
So season 1, probably the best
Godly.
season of television I've ever
ever
seen.
Yeah.
Easy.
The writing, the plot, the acting.
I would rank that one season up there with all 5 seasons of Breaking Bad.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah, easy.
And it's okay. So we all know what happened with season 2.
Yeah, I didn't finish it.
I never finished that.
I finished it. I can't tell you that there's any benefit of doing so.
Yeah. I went and read. It wasn't like a synopsis, but it was just like someone like basically the general gist I got from it was no one is happy at the end of season 2.
Okay. Well, no, but yeah, no one, especially not the viewer, but
Right.
but I don't know if it was implying it was talking about
Like the
people in the
characters,
show.
like the main.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, okay. season 1 was probably in his head for 10 years.
For sure.
You know what I
Easy.
mean?
Yeah.
He perfected it. He wrote it. It was probably his passion project. He probably did things on the side, came back to it for 10 years. Sold it to HBO as a package. Boom. Done. Then HBO went, great. Can I have another?
Yeah, he's like,
Also, can I have it in 8 months? You know?
Yeah.
That's probably what happened. I'm not saying.
And on top of that, let's give you a fucking killer cast. So he has to be like,
Oh,
okay.
yeah.
yeah.
Like,
don't
and-
fuck it up.
And I mean, what is he going to say no to HBO? Like,
Exactly.
he's probably, I don't know. But this guy, so much of his, I feel like you know him just from watching his shows. Like, so much of his writing is so gritty and like, not narcissistic.
It's just hopeless.
It's
and brutal.
atheist and
Agnostic, even. Yeah.
What's the word? Nihilistic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's extremely
Yeah.
nihilistic, where it's just like nothing fucking matters. It's your ending isn't happy. There's not a
He
bow
is
on
Matthew
everything.
McConaughey in season
Pretty much.
one.
Yeah. And to an extent, Mahershala's character also.
Yeah.
Right.
Where it's like they're both very
He's
similar.
jaded as fuck.
So, talking about the whole journey of True Detective, season 1, perfection, like so fucking amazing,
I mean, how do you follow that up
Exactly.
with less than like 2 years?
dude.
You know what I mean?
Like, and season 2 was so confusing. I won't even spend much time talking about it. It was such like a weird. The cast was great, but it was like such a weird. It was like a real estate conspiracy.
It was such a weirdly told story. I remember I wasn't following it so hard. I remember the real estate aspect of it. Like, they mentioned some things real estate wise, but everything was so disconnected that, like, my hope of like seeing it all come together, I was just like, I don't even care.
Yeah. And I was so confused. I don't know whose motives were.
Exactly.
Like what?
Who's the antagonist?
Yeah, and it was just it was a mess. So, cut to season 3. It's as if like HBO was like, "Hey man, can you give us season 1 again?"
Yeah.
yeah.
but just with different characters.
It's
'Cause
almost
It's a
the
return
same.
to form, though.
Exactly. That's what I was getting at. It's like season 3 is a return to form of like
Exactly.
season 1. Like
I
I
mean-
even wrote down all of the like similarities between.
Oh shit. Okay.
Southern State.
Yeah. So yeah, between season 1 and season 3, both cops have some sort of brain issue. So the Matthew McConaughey has like the hallucinations
Oh yeah.
from PTSD.
Forgot
Yeah.
about that.
I don't know if Hayes is his name, right?
Yeah.
Detective Hayes.
Wayne Hayes.
Hayes.
What is that called?
her-
Whenever like you like crack your back and like you trip on acid.
Flashback.
Flashbacks.
Okay.
Yeah, he had flashbacks. But it was from his time undercover. So,
Yeah.
but it was like PTSD related
Yeah.
stuff. I don't know if Hayes had PTSD from Vietnam, but
I mean,
like
I would say he
had,
probably did.
Oh,
but-
100%.
But I mean, he had amnesia, which is like, or dementia,
Dementia.
which is like, anyways, he has brain issues that makes him hallucinate. They're both hallucination brain issues. So it's like, that was like a big similarity.
Yeah.
There's marital troubles both
course.
in both of them, but like that's pretty generic.
Yeah.
The figurines in season 1, there was
Definitely.
the
The
stick
little twig
figurines.
things.
Yeah, and then in this season there was like
Little dolls.
a literal doll
Like
or
corn husk
figurine
doll thing, I don't
Yeah,
know.
at the crime scene,
Yeah.
which is really really weird when you think about it. Where it's like it's just a blatant one where it's
Yeah,
like,
it's like
hey, they
we
left
need-
a figurine at the crime scene.
Yeah.
Like
Here's a clue.
yeah.
It's a Joker card.
It's implying a big mystery, you know.
Right.
But the eerie thing about
Joker card.
but the eerie
damn
thing
it.
about the figurines were like, it does imply like this weird, like catch me if you can type of thing,
Exactly,
like where
which
it's
I
like,
love.
Yeah, but,
like
cool
Gone
with that.
Girl.
Yeah, like when they find it, they're like, he's toying with us, you know.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
But I don't mean to go off on a tangent or anything like that, but did not deliver on that. You know what I mean?
The figurines?
The figurines.
Oh,
yeah.
definitely not.
It just
I-
literally just fell in the
Well,
ground.
I think that also, I feel like that comes from the creative differences or something, because it just sort of dissolves into nothingness. That
Yeah.
thing with the dolls.
That could be. You know, that's funny. That is a very Jeremy Saulnier like trope. You know what I
Really?
mean? He does do that a lot. He does
Like a red
leave you-
herring?
Yeah. Yes. Exactly. Like just those little things like that. That set up really well for the end. You know what I mean? And then that just didn't deliver. And I guess it, like the ending sort of feeds off of like it's not what you expected. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Yeah.
Like you built it up in your head.
yeah. Well,
But
that's
also, fuck you, dude.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing is, that's what I was saying about his writing, where, like, I get what you're saying. It alludes to a bigger mystery.
Mm-hmm.
And when you see a figurine or you see something like that, it alludes to like this.
It looks like there's
conspiracy theory, dude.
It makes you think that there's like that's sort of like a language for pedophiles,
Yeah,
and they
some
use
cult.
that.
Yes,
You
some
know what I mean?
cult.
Exactly.
Give that to me,
Yeah,
dude.
something. You're right though. Like that's one of the things where I kind of like the way not everything has to have that Hollywood movie thing with his writing, but I also see your point where it's like you wanted a little like allusion to a cult or something.
Don't just say they dropped it.
Right. Yeah.
That was,
Don't say
yeah,
that.
It's almost like
Don't say that.
Don't put that in there.
it's almost like they were writing the final episode, and then like they got their big white chalkboard or their their whiteboard, and they're like,
Yeah.
oh shit, what about the dolls though? What about the dolls? And they're like,
Like the black guy bought him. He likes dolls.
She dropped it.
yeah, that's it.
Like-
circle. That's it. Dropped it.
It like
How are we gonna explain it?
it goes through so many filters. There are so many people involved in the production of something like this, especially like a season of television.
Right.
That not one person was like, that kind of sucks. You know what I mean?
Did they focus group this?
Right.
like. Oh, I see what you did, but like that kind of sucks though.
A little disappointing.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing about you go into a finale all the time. You're like, how are they going to answer all these questions? And then a lot of the stuff is throwaway.
Yeah.
Like the first time I felt that sort of epic disappointment was in Lost, where it's like,
See, I never-
hey, what about that big magnet thing that's like that big roar on the island? Like, it's just some fucking machine
Are you serious?
or something. And it's
Yeah.
like
It's some really disappointing
Like every
thing.
once in a while, the whole island would shake and it'd be like, "Brrr," and everybody's like, dinosaurs? What is this? Like, what's going on? What's the monster
Right.
or something?
Like
and it's
actually mysterious.
yeah. And then they were just like, it's a fucking, the machine's malfunctioning on the island, and that's it. And it was like a throwaway line.
But
where
you
it was
know-
like it was a reoccurring thing for 5
seasons, yeah.
Yeah.
And then you just go, it was that.
It's my dog.
That's
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's whenever like the fully formed idea, like there is no fully formed idea.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? They're writing it as they're going.
Totally.
For 5 fucking seasons.
That's
you know what I mean?
exactly right. And you can't exactly know the answer to every question you raise.
Right.
When you're writing
True.
something. And it goes to the J.J. Abrams mystery box thing where it's
But
like,
you better have a good fucking answer.
Don't fucking disappoint me.
You better have a good fucking answer though.
should have a.
It
yeah,
can't just
Yeah.
be a throwaway like she dropped it.
It's unfortunate.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate. Why couldn't it have been better? Is I guess what a better way to say
It
it.
had
Why
to have
couldn't
been
that-
time constraints. That's the only thing I can
Or
think
like
of.
Yeah.
why couldn't that be her version of like I don't know, like a cross, like a tombstone kind of thing. You know what I mean? Like she if God damn it, dude, if she would have just set it down for whatever fucking crazy reason this woman had.
Oh, the woman that was
Yeah.
doing all this
Even
shit.
that
Yeah.
would have been
If
more
she would have
impactful.
just set it down like next to like the thing and just like left it as like I'm sorry or something like some form of like
I actually agree.
of
Yeah.
catharsis like
Yeah.
oh this was an accident, this is terrible,
Yeah.
this is him, I'm like leaving this behind. That's an answer.
Yeah. No, you're actually
Yeah.
100% right.
Answer me. Like, it's something.
Well,
dude.
yeah, and we'll think about while we're on the topic of this, where it's like the boy being murdered, he fell.
Yeah. Well, you know what? You know what's fucked up?
He fell and hit his head on a rock.
I literally guessed that as a joke in the first episode because he came across like a big rock that had like that outcropping, and I was like, "Hey, that looks like a spot where someone might trip."
Well, like that looks dangerous. Well, like okay, was there a rock with like blood on it?
yeah.
Yeah, there's blood on
It's
it.
like a pointed rock.
Yeah.
That's right, because he found that.
Yeah. It was when
And then
when
he was moved into the cave.
exactly.
Yes.
Okay. But he literally just tripped and hit his head.
And also the fucking thing
Cool.
with the thing with the fingers.
yeah, that was also accidental.
Exactly.
The little sister did that.
Yes.
But how the fuck does she know that was the same pose?
Coincidence. Yeah, no, you're totally right. Where
That's
it's like,
way too fucking convenient,
Yeah.
dude.
yeah, you're totally right. Where it's like where she did that and she would have no motive to do that.
Plus,
Like
No.
like, I don't think she had like, oh, this is how he was posing in that photo.
Exactly.
Like that. She was just like, her brother was dead and she was trying to like make him look peaceful. And it was, but then why is that a clue of like, oh, we found
Like
a
the
picture of him
restful
like
repose.
this.
Like plus they give so many little hints or little things that you would assume would be leading to something fucking enormous, like the fact that Will is the only one with his eyes closed in the restful repose fucking picture, and the priest is like, I don't know, that's kind of fucking weird. No, I gotta go. And then
Yeah, they did. The show in general is a huge master of misdirect.
exactly.
Yeah.
And if that was their intention, if their intention is like, yeah, we want to misdirect you the whole time. We want to, obviously that wasn't their intention. We want to show you this photo
Yeah.
of him, but it's like, there's still no.
They implied like a church-wide pedophile ring, and all it ever came down to was a little girl who was lonely. That's everything.
It's true though. Yeah, it was, but that also plays into the nature of investigation.
That's true.
I think where
the
it's like-
obfuscation and
Where it's
projection.
like, is this a lead? Let's follow this. Oh, this must be a clue.
That's a good point, because he did say that directly to his wife
Oh,
whenever
really?
they were having an argument, or I can't remember if it was to his wife or not, but he said, don't ever assume that, oh no, it was the interviewer as old
Yeah.
Hayes. He's like, don't ever just go with what you think is happening,
Yeah.
because then you're going to fuck up your investigation.
Yeah, and you have confirmation bias. And then
Exactly.
You're leading yourself down your own.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So is that what they're trying to make the audience do?
I mean, potentially.
They're trying to give the audience like this sort of conspiracy pedophile ring thing that we're supposed to think the whole time. And then the very end, they just pull the rug out from under us like, nope, it was none of that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, in a way,
Fuck you.
That could have they've made that exact reference several times as
Right.
old Hayes, so it could have been very well.
yeah, it could be intentional. To,
Yeah.
like, you're along the ride. You're going on this journey with the detectives. You never
Exactly.
know more than them. Technically, it's
Right,
always
right.
following them. You never see things that they don't see.
You're fed as
right?
much information as they want you to know.
Yeah. Well, I was just trying to think, like, they never, like, went to, like, they didn't ever cut to a killer's house and
you're right.
something and the detectives don't.
They did misdirect at one point with Woodard, the guy that looked Native American. He picked up a big duffel bag that
Yeah.
it was meant to, I think it
Meant
was
to look like a
meant to
body
look
bag.
like a body.
For sure.
But
I knew-
I was like, there's no way those aren't rifles, and he's about to go fucking full Vietnam on those rednecks. Like, dude, when I saw that C4 with front towards enemy, I was just like, murder them!
Yeah. Dude, well, that, like I said, like, throughout the show, there has been a lot of withholding information that leads you to believe something like misdirect. Like, that was supposed to look like bodies. That you were
Exactly.
supposed to think he was the bad guy because he was creepy and dug through trash or whatever.
Sure.
And then, but yeah, you started to catch on to where, like, okay, I know you're doing a lot of bait and switch here. Because even there were times I thought that, what's the other detective's name? Not Hayes. the other guy.
Roland West.
I thought Roland was a bad guy for a lot of the time because he
Yeah.
wasn't.
He seemed like he was like trying to.
Yeah, like pump the brakes, Hayes.
Yeah.
Like, we don't need to solve this
Exactly,
murder.
yeah.
Like he was like. He was like, "Hey man, I made a break in the case." He's like, "Well,
You got to
know."
go home, see
Yeah.
your family.
Yeah, he didn't seem as all in as Hayes was.
Yeah.
At times.
But I think it also had to do with the fact that Roland was trying to work his way into the
Yeah.
corporate ladder of
Yeah,
the
yeah.
police administration.
Well, that was another reason why, because I thought he was in on it.
Exactly.
Because he was rising in the ranks, and we
Yeah.
thought it, and we were led to believe it was an internal.
Yeah, they weren't
sheriff's
subtle about
department
that at all.
Pedophile ring or something.
Yeah.
And so I was thinking like, oh, Roland's in on this with everybody, and
Like
he's
who-
getting a boost up. and-
Exactly. Like whoever played their boss,
Yeah.
like they didn't bother at all with trying to make him look subtle about the fact that he's trying to push all this under the rug.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think ultimately, I get what they were trying to do. I mean, I feel like I have a good grasp on what they were trying to do. Ultimately, don't gotta like it. Like, I don't have to like
No, yeah,
what
no.
the fuck they did. You know
No,
what I
for
mean?
sure, for sure.
And my opinion would be that, like, it felt pretty fucking lazy.
Well, just the point you made about she dropped it versus like could she have set it down
Just
as
this small
like
5-second moment of impact.
yeah, like it at least would offer an answer as a like she dropped it is an answer, but it's like
It's a pretty shitty
It's
answer.
a throwaway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like we got to get the doll to the ground. Well, drop it. You know,
Have a man from China throw it really hard.
didn't make any sense.
Yeah.
So let me just finish off this list. It's getting weaker as it gets further down the list, but like the similarities. The suspected killer having a recognizable facial scar that they're
Exactly.
searching for the whole season.
Yep.
So
For 30 years.
For 30 years.
yeah, exactly. Because
Longer.
they think some guy.
And he works at Hoyt. He works in the town.
yeah, and no one's.
No one. Oh, I've never seen him.
Yeah, it's frustrating. There was a really big point I wanted to make about that guy too. Like why did he?
Like, just okay, sorry.
No, go ahead. I didn't think of it.
Imagine if that guy, the caretaker guy, came to Hayes
Right.
at some point
Like he
sooner
was-
than that.
Like he was trying to do.
Yes.
But instead, he was selfish, and then he was talking about how he's like, "Oh, I wasted all this time," but he could have just fucking talked to him.
No, you could have talked to him, but like leave that as something that Hayes forgets. You know what I
Oh,
mean?
that would be
Like they
great.
missed a
Yeah.
lot of opportunities
That
of
would
like
be
Hayes
great.
having information and then losing it.
Well,
For
you
sure.
know what?
That
Sure.
happened once
Yeah.
in
You
the
know-
entire show. That could have been a reoccurring
Dude.
theme.
man.
My girlfriend thought.
Memento that motherfucker.
I swear, she thought that near the end where he writes down that address on the piece of paper.
Yes. Okay. This is the alternate ending.
Okay, just go ahead and say what. I
Okay,
think we're
so-
gonna say the same thing.
Okay,
So just say it.
yeah.
I hear you. I hear
Okay.
you.
So
Go, let's do
that
it.
moment when he got her address, got the girl's address, and he wrote it on a piece of paper, and he went there and whatever, and like I got picked up, and I don't know where I was. Sorry, son. They came home. He's like, oh, this was my pocket. I don't know what it means. I thought that the son was going to take that and go crumple it up, and he was going to open the drawer he put it in. He was going to open the drawer, and there'd be a bunch of crumpled up Post-it notes.
That's exactly that would have been exactly.
and then he just throws it in there and shuts it.
He's just like, oh, damn.
Just like he solved it like hundreds of times.
And he's just right.
That would have been so fucking sick.
Like the whole show you've been waiting for him to solve it, and he's gotten
He's
there
already
before.
Yeah.
And he's
Oh, my
forgotten
God.
and forgotten and forgotten, and the son doesn't know what it means.
Yeah.
Oh,
The son's maybe
fuck.
Googled it and was like, yeah, it's a house.
The house. I
you
don't know
know,
who the fuck lives there.
or the son is in on it and he's like,
Exactly.
"Oh, I don't
Well,
want to
I
protect
also-
her."
Shit.
Before they
Wouldn't that have been insane?
That
That would have
Yeah.
been so fucking.
the repercussions that would have had season
would have
wide
been
though.
insane.
it would have fucking fit so fucking perfectly. I
But the-
love that.
Oh,
idea.
like the inner,
and
like-
and not to explain what the son has to do with it, why he wants his father to like avoid knowing the truth or whatever.
Yeah.
But like just to leave it at that.
That would have been great.
Yes.
Ooh,
That would
God damn it.
That would have, but that has so much repercussions when you think about it. Like across the whole series, then,
Yeah.
then you go, whoa.
Yes.
Then you're like, which timeline am I watching? Which time is he solving this? Which
shit.
Then it may have too damaging of a repercussion.
No, I love it.
I like it too. It would have been,
it would've-
been
they would've
such a
had-
heartbreaking thing to
Yeah.
see
Yeah.
the fact that he's done it.
That would have
Yeah,
made
my
it
heart
like
hurts for
fucking
that, dude.
top 10 anime betrayals ever. Like for sure.
Dude, that would have been epic, dude.
Another point I wanted to talk about was
I hate that I know that could have happened.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Thanks, dude.
Right when he opened the drawer, I audibly went, "Oh
Yeah.
no!" I was like, "No!" And then it was
That
just
would have
nothing.
been tragic.
I hope it is shot somewhere.
I hope so.
they shot
I
it.
so hope so.
I hope someone. I'm pretty dumb. There's smarter writers out there. Nick had to have thought of it. Like,
Right.
the guy that wrote season 1 of True Detective had to have considered that. You know,
Seriously.
like and gone, nah.
And there was like a focus group that's like, that's too sad.
Yeah, or something. Like, I hope there's an alternate shot. Like, we should just shoot it and like cut it in
It'd be
as a
great.
joke. Like,
Jew
that'd be-
detective.
Yeah, that would be so funny to be like take that whole scene and then just like shoot an alternate ending of like the post.
Just one shot.
Just one. It's all you need.
It's just a small point, but how there were certain points whenever Eliza, whoever the interviewer was, she would Hayes would say something about the investigation that like she didn't know because they were both bringing forth their stuff, and she's like, are you sure you're not trying to solve this again? And he keeps repeating back, he's like, I'm not trying to solve it, it's just for personal answers. And at the time, I was like, oh, of course he's trying to solve it. He's still a cop at heart, blah, blah, blah. But then at the end, when it's implied that he remembers as he's drinking the water, I think. Do you remember that? He's drinking the water outside of the house, and like he stops and looks around at both of them. And I think it's implied that he remembers.
Oh, like on the porch?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's implied he remembers why he came there and he recognizes them. But I think that if he did remember and recognize them, he didn't mention that to them that he knew who they were, that he solved it, or he didn't mention it to anyone at that time because it genuinely was just trying to figure out for his own personal.
Yeah.
Well,
reasons.
I think whether or not he recognized them, you make a good points there because like it could have been like, yep, check the box, and I'm not going to disturb them.
Exactly.
And so whether he recognized them or not, it's a better ending because the whole point is her getting away from that shitty life.
Exactly.
And escaping it all, leaving it behind.
Having a new one.
Him coming in and finding her and, getting a new ending to her book and the series that the woman's shooting would ruin her peaceful life.
Exactly.
So that's why the ending is so satisfying to me, where it's like he doesn't, or maybe he does. That's a good point. Like I actually didn't think he
It's the
solved
closest
I didn't
thing
think
to
he
a
solved
happy
it.
ending.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
it's that ambiguity that makes you just like, well, I don't know.
the ambiguity is what's good.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because
Agreed.
Because like we're talking about right here, it could be either one. And like your ending is good. This ending is good too.
I would-
It's like, I don't have a preferred one.
Exactly.
But like the fact that it's possible that he recognized them and chose.
And the
just went-
characters are so complex that you actually put forth the brain power to be like, well, maybe he thought this way instead of this way.
Right.
Honestly, I didn't even consider that.
I didn't
Really?
consider it till you said it either.
Yeah.
I thought he was the whole time I
Like
was
he just
waiting for him to
forgot.
remember. The whole
Yeah.
time I was just like, please, please.
Yeah,
please.
no.
I was until later till I realized it's better that he doesn't.
Right.
But I think you're right. Like the shot in particular that you're talking about, where like he's drinking the water and he just sort of takes a beat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that might be.
They leave it. They leave it to you.
Yeah, they do a lot. That's good.
That's really good.
I don't know.
Yeah.
That in a way does
Can grab some
not
water.
completely change. Chris, do you mind filling this up for me, dude? That doesn't completely change my. Or no, it actually is changing my opinion on the last episode because I really didn't care for it. I didn't like
really?
the info bombs and just how
Yeah, that was one thing. I mean, the infobombs was a whole other thing.
like that it just felt a little too forced. Like we could have had a little bit of this sprinkled throughout, like the last
Exactly.
2 episodes. You know what I mean? Because we really
Definitely.
didn't get much out of the last 2 episodes besides
Yeah.
the relationship with Steven Dorff and shit like that. You know what I mean? That was really cool.
Exactly.
But that turns me around actually on the
Nice.
last episode because if that is the case, whether or not that is the case.
Back with the water, guys. Spill it on the.
Whether or not that is the case, I mean that really does make that better. Just your saying that makes that ending better for me.
Also, I loved seeing Roland West's introduction to Stray Dogs. That was
Thank
like
you.
the most amazing thing. Like
Yeah.
it was it wasn't even like necessary to anything in the show
Oh,
at
yeah.
all, but I loved it.
When that dog came up to him and
Yeah,
he's just like,
oh, he just collapses.
fuck, that was awesome. If you're a dog
Yeah,
lover,
and that explains later on why he has like 17 dogs.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was
that was good.
a nice little.
Plus, it's hard not to like a character that's an old ex-cop that loves dogs.
Yeah, and has
Yeah.
isolated himself
Yeah.
from like society.
Like, it's
and,
about as likable as you get.
Yeah.
Like-
Well, I like the fact that you have 3 timelines lets you play with things, characterizations, really in an interesting way like that, where it's like things you don't normally think about that affect you. Like, I buy a bunch of X because of, I don't know why, but they have those opportunities to go back in their lives, like past, and be like, this is why he does this.
Right.
This is why he does this.
Exactly.
So that's really interesting. But so anything more on the ending or well, I don't think I even ever finished that similarities list. There's a big house shootout. That was a similarity.
Oh yeah. I
There was
forgot about that.
that neighborhood shootout in True Detective. That's kind of
That
a
was
general.
Is that the
generic
one where
though.
they had that like 30-minute shot that was just like
Yeah, it was unbelievable.
fucking
The fallout of Partners was
Stanley.
dude, he's a master. He's a master at tangling in cables and just going, "Oops and daisy."
sorry, I'm a dog.
I know. I'll see you soon, you fat fuck. The fallout of Partners was, I guess, another pretty generic one.
Yeah.
But they both had that arc of like, we split, we had our differences, and then why don't you talk anymore? We don't talk anymore. And it's like, well,
like
Matthew McConaughey, you fucked my wife, so.
Also, car brooding.
Yeah, I mean that's just central. That's
Also-
just central to the show.
Yeah. Also, brooding in vehicles while smoking cigarettes.
Yeah,
Yeah. Everyone has lung cancer in Nick Polizzi's world.
Yeah.
right.
Nicolata Pizza.
Nicolata pizza.
Nicolata Pizza. In his world, everybody smokes.
And Nick Ravioli. He really does a great job.
How you
Yeah.
doing? I'm Johnny Ravioli. Go fuck yourself.
There's a lot of personal philosophy comes out in the show too, like his personal philosophies. Have you noticed that? Like across all of them, like in True Detective season 2, there's certain lines. Well, not season 2, just in general. In True Detective, all 3 seasons, there's certain lines where it's like that came directly from Nick's mouth.
For sure.
Where it's like
he just wanted to say that.
yeah, where it's like there's a line where in season 2 specifically where it stood out so hard. Someone takes a hit from an e-cigarette, and then
I can already
person
imagine what you're
driving,
gonna say.
he's smoking a real cigarette. The person driving is smoking a real cigarette. And he turns and he goes, "Is that a fucking e-cigarette?" That's all he says. And then the person's just like embarrassed and puts it away. And that's the only time you see an e-cigarette in the whole series.
The whole series.
Yeah. And I don't even think he looks. He's just like, "Is that a fucking e-cigarette?" And he just keeps. Yeah. It was more effective that way. He's just like, yeah. And
That's awesome.
but there's certain ones. That's just one example. But there are certain. I can't think of any others specifically. But there's times in the show, whether it's about time or it's about religion,
Anything like
or-
one-linery, I feel like it's just something Nick thought of in the toilet.
almost it's like a like poetry.
Exactly.
Like some little one-liner.
Exactly.
And it's almost yeah. It's not. I guess it's not a bad thing, but sometimes where it's like it doesn't. When you don't believe it comes from that character, I guess that's a little. It's a little heavy-handed on Nick's part.
Yeah.
But I still fucking love every bit of writing he does. So,
Same.
anyways.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, let's wrap this
Yeah.
up, huh?
No, I think we did a pretty good job in recapping an entire season of television.
Yeah.
How do you guys feel?
That was pretty effortless.
That was fun. Yeah.
Yeah. I can't think of.
I feel like there's
anything
more
else.
we could go over, but nothing's popping into my head. So
Yeah. There was one thing I wanted to. Fuck, was it? It was about the caretaker, and it was very frustrating. And maybe it was something to do with the fact that he doesn't tell anyone anything for years.
and then he's got all this pent up hate towards himself for not telling anyone.
Yeah.
Hey, say something then.
Yeah.
Fucking say something.
You see something,
man.
say something. They have commercials.
No, I
Eating
can't-
you up inside. Say something.
Yeah. Okay, maybe I should just tend to some chickens.
Right.
For fucking 30
To like
years.
die.
And then I also fucking hate whenever like he just sees two people and he's like, "Been waiting for y'all
Yeah.
for a long time, dude.
You could have come got us.
say something."
Well, he tried, man. He showed up in the neighborhood and parked his car for a little while.
Yeah. I was trying to work up the courage.
Yeah, I didn't like that.
But like conveniently at the same time that he's like going through this again,
yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
if like
Maybe it's the series, maybe the book or something.
like I feel like if it were the second flashback, like the 80s section of it, where he sees that car sort of over and over again and like the car drives off before he is able to like reach him or something. If that happens a couple of times, to me that's more impactful than him being old and seeing the car. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like what if he sees that same car again when he is old?
Exactly. Like 20 years later.
Like that would be so fucking sick
That would be
if they
sick.
did that.
Yeah.
Did you watch the mini documentary series Evil Genius?
Yes.
Okay, so
Very
did
sick.
you watch that?
No.
You should watch it.
Yeah,
It's
but
really
it
good.
shows someone getting blown up in the first episode, and so I don't want to watch it.
I mean, you can honestly.
You've seen it?
Yeah.
It's
Okay.
It doesn't stick with you forever.
it's pretty clearly
'Cause
telegraphed.
I've seen things on the internet at a young age that have stuck with me forever, and I
Yeah.
really don't want to revisit anything
No,
that
I
will scar
promise
me
you,
like
it's
that.
literally nothing like that.
Not as
Okay.
bad as some of the other shit we've seen.
No, like it's like
We've seen some shit, man.
even the most brutal shot that it has, which isn't until like the last minute of the whole documentary series.
Wow, spoiler, thanks.
Well, even
We waiting for that
yeah,
now.
well, even that is like it's like an off angle, and you can
All
just
All right. But you're saying what
Oh yeah,
about the show?
but there was like someone in the original investigation that saw like this blue van that no one else in town had this blue van, and one detective heard it and logged it away in a case file, and then didn't tell any other detectives. So it's just like no one knows about this blue van, and then like however many years later, someone's like, "Hey, is that blue van?" And then they're like, "Yup," and then they just catch him. It's nothing.
Like that's it. Like
Is it?
easily
Yeah.
catches him.
Yeah.
I really hope that the GoPro isn't dead, but I think it might be.
Yeah.
I think we lost video on that
Oh
one.
no.
Yeah, we'll see. Well, I shot a fucking 2-hour time lapse before
True.
shooting this, so
True.
that's probably why I fucked that up. So,
That's all good. I was surprised that it was doing so well though.
yeah, I think we'll see how long it lasts. I don't know.
Yeah.
It might still be. I don't see a red light though, so that's not a good sign.
I feel like I remember it at the beginning of it, though.
It's smoking a little bit. Did it overeat?
It's on fire. Like, oh, I think it's rolling. I see red. So one more thing about True Detective, I want to say the misdirect of the nun being dead or her being dead, as I fell for it.
No, I definitely fell for it.
Did you guys fall for it, or were you just like, nah?
What do you mean?
Well, she went to that
That convent.
the convent, and they're like, oh, she got sick and she died here, and here's her grave, and then it's just them and apologizing to her. It's just them apologizing to her grave, like, I'm sorry we didn't do better for you. And I was like, this is a Nick Lotta Pizza ending.
yeah.
where it's like
super anticlimactic.
just like didn't work out.
Yeah.
Time didn't line up, and you just didn't do the best you could, and
Yeah.
it's not perfect. You don't get the Hollywood ending.
weren't in the right place at the right time.
Yeah, she's already dead. You
Yeah.
don't even get to meet her before she dies.
Exactly.
It's just
Yeah.
like she's been dead for 10 years actually, or whatever, how long.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that was like one of those like, fuck.
Yeah.
It's like a fuck you ending. And then the bait and switch I thought was
Right.
really awesome, where it's like, what if they wanted to protect her?
I
And
was
just
like, whoa. Yeah. When they started explaining it, I was like, no.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
so good.
It's awesome. So that was the last thing I wanted to say about it. I can't think of anything else.
That's interesting because I didn't think too much of that at the time.
The whole resolution of the case. Well, that's the thing. In the show, it's so throwaway. Even
Yeah.
like they just kind of like, oh, she's dead, and they're at their grave.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was just like,
They just like, it's literally the next shot. Like,
yeah,
she's like, oh,
there's
she
no
got
build up.
sick.
Yeah. There's no build up. So like, as a viewer, like you probably were just like,
Oh.
oh,
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just like, oh,
Just deflated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
there you go. That's the word.
yeah,
Yeah, I didn't think too much of it at the time, and then whenever they do wrap it up, it's like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I didn't really get a sense of completion.
Yeah.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
But I mean, that could be another central theme: is there is no sense of
There
catharsis or completion.
were actual lines about it.
Well, fuck me.
Well,
Fuck my viewing experience.
to like shit on every point, but like,
Here's
we're
why
not-
you're
we're not-
wrong,
We're
though.
not, we're not shitting on it, but
No,
like,
no. I hear you.
there's even lines in there where he's like, I don't feel, resolution. Do you feel like
Yeah,
Hayes
yeah,
and
no,
Hayes
yeah.
and the other
Yeah.
guy we're talking about?
I was like,
We're
this doesn't-
I don't feel
Yeah.
closure. And it was
I was like, there's no way they wouldn't write that for no reason.
Josh is sitting on the couch. Yeah, me either.
yeah.
Same. Same, bro. All right. Well, anything else on True Detective? Are you going to wrap this fucker up?
I'm
Fuck
feeling
season
pretty
2.
good, guys.
Feeling pretty good too.
Uh,
That's all I wanted to say. I think
Time
you know
is a
what?
flat
You know what?
circle.
I have a little.
time is a flat circle.
I have a little
PP.
game I want to do. Let's cast
The next season.
the next season of True Detective.
Okay, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Who do you guys want to see
Okay.
in the next season of True Detective?
Pair of brooding detectives.
But it can't be like too fucking like fucking Ryan Reynolds and fucking Hugh Jackman or something. You know what I mean? It can't be two huge stars like that.
Okay.
Don't limit.
No. Because it would be, of course, it would be awesome if Brad Pitt and fucking Tom Cruise did it. You know what I mean? That would be fucking crazy.
Sure.
Fucking posy core Tom
But-
Cruise, like, and then he has to be fucking.
Give me some supporting actors too that would really like.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like this show would be well rounded.
Oh my God, Tom Cruise. Like, so when do I run fast? They're like, never. It's not that you drive in a car, smoke cigarettes. He's like, I've been training for like years though. Like I'll blow my arm out on a stunt scene. I'll do my own stunts. So like there are no stunts. You don't need to Do that, Tom Cruise.
What's that thing?
He's like, I'm
that
gonna do a backflip. Like, okay, we're not gonna use this take.
Scientologists call people who aren't always happy, like Tom Cruise is.
Yeah.
They call them something. I can't remember what it is. They're like
Normal.
well, essentially, you replace normal with whatever the term that Scientologists came up with.
Yeah.
And I imagine that's how I would describe it to Tom Cruise to tackle that role.
All right. Well, let's cast the next season of True Detective.
Wilson.
Okay, big actor for brooding detective. I'm gonna go with Denzel Washington.
Oh shit.
Okay.
That'd be crazy.
Who's the second one?
Who's his partner?
His partner is fuck.
This is right on the mic.
Come back to me.
Okay. Denzel. All right.
Denzel.
Be like fucking Tyler Perry and just play both the detectives.
That would be
Just like-
hilarious.
Okay. Hear me out. I think Richard Jenkins.
I'm gonna have to Google him.
Richard Jenkins is he's the dad in fucking Step Brothers.
Oh, okay.
Let me look it up. I don't remember.
He was in Cabin in the Woods. He was one of the scientists.
He's in The Shape of Water.
Yeah.
Okay.
Richard Jenkins.
Okay. It's so obscure. But
No,
I mean, it totally works.
but I see him. I see him. I see him doing
I see him
it.
being gritty too.
Alan Arkin. Nah, he's a big actor.
I see Richard Jenkins, and then he has to have like a younger. It's got to be 7, dude. It's got to be 7, like a 7 scheme. It has to be like an older detective with like a younger guy.
I would love
Okay,
that.
yeah.
I would love if there's like a grizzled, seasoned.
So Richard Jenkins and Michael B. Jordan. Fuck.
Oh, that would be sick.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I can see that.
Something where Michael B. Jordan is like really fucking like. I mean, okay, so Richard Jenkins is like super fucking over it. You know what I mean? I'm writing 7 right now. It's fucking.
I'm writing 7-2.
It's 14.
Let's call it 8.
Oh, all right.
Fuck.
Yeah, something where Richard Jenkins is like a fucking. He's just washed up. He's like, fuck it. I'm over this case. Fuck this case. But it's like a really intricate fucking case that Michael B. Jordan is like really fucking
Super committed to. Yeah.
and like gets into the
That'd
shit.
be awesome.
You know what I mean? Something like that, where it's like that dichotomy, I think, and 2 very fucking good actors that couldn't be further opposite of each other. You know what I mean?
thought of my young detective, Tom Holland.
Dude, honestly, dude, I could see him more as like the degenerate, like
Really?
guy that commits the crime.
That would be cool. But
Dude, like, what if it was like one of those like cases where it's like the kid fucking kills somebody or something like that, and it's like one of those nationally televised cases.
That would be cool.
Where he's like a piece
But
of shit.
every time I imagine Tom Holland's face, I just like imagine like a dorky like ugh, like you know what I mean. So like to see him as like a fresh
School shooter or something.
Not even that. I mean, like if him as like a fresh-faced detective that has some optimism when he starts the job, and then flash forward 20 years and he's like, "Fuck this."
That's actually super interesting.
Yeah.
Like a way to do the next. Like that would be an interesting trope in the next True Detective.
Yeah.
Would be like a fresh detective and like a
Grizzled,
gritty old
yeah.
one. Yeah.
I'm feeling that.
Yeah.
What about you?
Okay. I've got 2 scenarios in my head.
Okay.
Gritty old guy and young woman, and then gritty old guy and young man.
Got it.
Got it. I think I've seen this movie. I don't know who the gritty old guy would be yet, but for whole podcast unplugs.
Ron Perlman.
What?
I don't know. He'd be good.
It would be good.
So for a young rookie detective, I don't know how to say his name properly. Rami Malek.
Oh yeah.
Rami
Malek.
Malek.
He'd be sick.
Fuck yeah.
For the young female,
Oh fuck yeah.
she's not like young, but like let's just say newer than the older gritty guy. Charlize Theron would be fucking sick.
Yeah.
She'd be so gritty. She'd
That's
be
true.
fucking
She's
sick.
like a genuinely really good actress.
Yeah, and there was a movie she was in.
Monster.
Was it Blonde?
Oh,
Pink?
Atomic Blonde.
Atomic Blonde.
Atomic Blonde.
That was Charlize Theron, right?
Yeah.
She was sick in that. She was
Yeah.
super gritty in that.
You know what would be really cool though? Now that I'm thinking about it, is like other supporting characters around like just the detectives themselves.
Mm-hmm.
It would be really cool to see like actors sort of come out of their I guess typecast to do something
I love
really
when that
special
happens.
for
Yeah.
like True Detective. So like not
Vince
that I'm-
Vaughn in season 2.
Exactly.
right. That's so funny you said that. I was thinking like Vin Diesel as like some douchebag cop. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That'd be great.
Yeah, that'd be
like
awesome.
that would be really. I mean, obviously he fits the role and everything like that. But like if you make him a piece of shit,
Make
Yeah.
Tom Hanks
Yeah.
a piece of shit.
yeah. Yeah.
like something like that, I think would be like really fucking interesting to
Yeah.
grab an actor like that that's like only does fucking action movies or something.
Jim
like
Carrey.
Oh my god.
Dude, that would be fucking crazy.
Be
If,
sick.
if he was a detective or if he was like the killer or something
Yeah.
like that.
Did
I
you
mean-
see the number 23?
Yeah.
I didn't like that movie.
No.
But I mean, that was like 2002.
Yeah, but
whatever.
I mean, yeah, that's a bad example of him straying, but like he's really
Dude,
good.
The Majestic.
Yeah.
The Majestic,
I never saw
Eternal
that.
Sunshine.
I loved Eternal Sunshine.
Simon Birch, he has one scene, but it's fucking incredible.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I don't even remember it.
So essentially he is his best friend, Simon Birch's best friend.
Oh, okay.
And at the very end, after Simon Birch is like long dead,
Mm-hmm.
it's Jim Carrey going to his grave and like having a conversation about Simon with somebody else. You know what I mean? He's like telling the story about Simon.
Oh,
but
that's
like
nice.
his performance at the end, it's all but like a few minutes, but it's
Yeah.
like fuck, man.
Really?
Because you see Jim Carrey, you're like, huh?
Yeah.
Like I'm ready to laugh.
Yeah.
yeah.
And then he just fucking brings it down.
Dashes your dreams.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's really good.
He is
Jim
awesome.
Carrey would be fucking awesome, actually.
Yeah, I don't know who the gritty old guy would be, but that's all I can really think of. Who plays the guy from Wanted?
James McAvoy.
James McAvoy.
He would be sick too.
He would be sick.
God,
Harvey Keitel.
I'm not really limiting my list here at all.
No, it's okay.
It's just like this person would be sick.
Yeah.
I was
just
I just wanted to say like not George Clooney or something. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
Although
Yeah,
that
yeah.
would be fucking.
I
brutal.
honestly would love to see George Clooney
Yeah.
in True Detective.
Yeah.
like Daniel Day-Lewis or something.
Oh my god.
I'm retiring.
I'm a detective.
I'm on set as the person I am always.
He like solves actual fucking
Just
crimes.
method acting.
Daniel Day-Lewis solves actual crime while method acting in
Right.
True Detective.
Let me open up your cold cases. I'm Daniel Day-Lewis.
They're like, Daniel, this is a police station. You can't.
I'm a detective. Just fucking.
I solve your cold case. I solve it up.
yeah.
All right. Let's end on that. You just want to end it?
No, that's awesome. I like
Yeah.
the little segment.
Good.
All right, cool.
All right, guys.
All right, cool.
Weeks after the True Detective season finale.
But for the record, yeah.
This is fresh in everyone's minds.
Hell
Getting-
yeah,
Getting
dude.
right back on.
Yeah.
This is fucking top-down convertible fun time.
Fucking. Oh, popping that.
Popping that laugh though. Why'd you pop that laugh? though?
We made a mistake.
Ha ha.
Yeah, and you've got one of those special covers on yours, so you
Oh, yeah, that's
can't-
true.
That's what happened. The
Pee.
fucking air just went. All right,
right,
wrapping
y'all.
it up. We're stopping this now. Okay, and you probably won't see the video because I think it stopped recording. So,
Yeah.
all right, that's it.
Beat.
Ugh.